Revelation 5. After that terrifying glimpse of heaven and the image of four creatures covered in eyeballs, the one thing you must be wondering is, why haven't we seen a baby lamb? Don't worry, your dream is finally about to come true. And we'll get to open a secret scroll too. Maybe. Look, it's a whole thing. Then I saw in the right hand of him who sat on the throne a scroll with writing on both sides and sealed with 7 seals. And I saw a mighty angel proclaiming in a loud voice, "Who is worthy to break the seals and open the scroll?" But no one in heaven or on earth or under the earth could open the scroll or even look inside it. I wept and wept because no one was found who was worthy to open the scroll or look inside. Then one of the elders said to me, "Do not weep. See, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the Root of David, has triumphed. He is able to open the scroll and its 7 seals." Heaven sounds like a giant escape room. God is just sitting on his throne holding a scroll that he's sealed up 7 times. What the hell is so important that you need that many seals? Middle school girls' diaries come with a single lock and a flimsy key. And given everything we've seen in heaven so far, why is a secret scroll the thing making Johnny the narrator weep? He doesn't even know what it might say. He doesn't know if it's worth his time. It could just be a recipe for some food he hates. Maybe it's the 10 Commandments again. Why the obsession with the scroll you didn't even know existed 2 minutes ago? That scroll has to be like the deed to owning the universe, right? Because anything less would be a letdown. Who can open this scroll? No one in heaven, or earth, or under the earth. Like, they asked everyone in hell, and everyone there said, "Nope, too difficult. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go set myself on fire again." Anyway, the Lion of Judah, Jesus, is the one who can open the scroll. Why? Because he defeated Satan and sin, and this is his reward. But before he does, he has to morph into an animal that's not a lion. Then I saw a lamb, looking as if it had been slain, standing at the center of the throne, encircled by the 4 living creatures and the elders. The lamb had 7 horns and 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of God sent out into all the earth. What? We're going on a tangent from the scroll to introduce a new character, a lamb that looks dead? But because this is heaven, it's an evil Jesus zombie lamb with 7 horns and 7 eyes, which sounds freaky, but still not nearly as freaky as the 4 living creatures who are completely covered in eyeballs. But it's okay, because those 7 eyeballs represent God's spirits, somehow. I guess this is supposed to be poetic because Jesus is a lion and a lamb, but also a zombie with horns and eyes. He's a lion to his enemies, but a lamb to his followers. He's like a theological optical illusion. Cool, got it. No notes. This makes sense. Let's just keep going. He went and took the scroll from the right hand of him who sat on the throne. And when he had taken it, the 4 living creatures and the 24 elders fell down before the Lamb. Each one had a harp, and they were holding golden bowls full of incense, which are the prayers of God's people. Wait, the Lamb, who is Jesus, is taking the scroll from the right hand of him who sat on the throne, who is also Jesus. Jesus is passing the ball to himself? Sure, why not? And I guess we are all bowing down to the Lamb now. I guess we have to, since the Lamb can see everything with its 7 eyes. But everyone has a harp and incense, because they're gonna play a song while we unseal and read the scroll, I assume. And they sang a new song, saying, "You are worthy to take the scroll and to open its seals, because you were slain. And with your blood you purchased for God persons from every tribe and language and people and nation. You have made them to be a kingdom and priests to serve our God, and they will reign on the earth. That is a horrible song. Did they rehearse that song? Because these are very specific lyrics. But okay, the servant of Jesus gets to take the scroll because Jesus had a really bad weekend this one time. And then those of us who think Jesus is special get to reign on earth for a very long, but very finite, as we will soon learn, amount of time. Can we just find out what the scroll says and be done with this? Then I looked and heard the voice of many angels, numbering thousands upon thousands, and 10,000 times 10,000. They encircled the throne and the living creatures and the elders. In a loud voice they were saying, "Worthy is the Lamb who was slain to receive power and wealth and wisdom and strength and honor and glory and praise." So 100 million angels are singing very loudly, which you know has to be annoying. And then they sing a cover of the song we just heard a minute ago, which is really unnecessary. Of all the things on that list, I feel like if you have power and wealth, everything else is meaningless. You think I would care about strength and honor if I were rich? You couldn't hurt my feelings. And rich people do not get to celebrate praise. They're praising you because you'll murder them if they don't. That is not heartfelt. Then I heard every creature in heaven and on earth and under the earth and on the sea and all that is in them saying, "To him who sits on the throne and to the Lamb be praise and honor and glory and power forever and ever." The 4 living creatures said, "Amen," and the elders fell down and worshipped. That is the same basic song again, which I guess makes sense because if you know anything about Christian music, it's all just variations on the same subject with the word Jesus thrown in every 4 words. And everyone is singing it. Every tree and worm and Muslim is praising Jesus. Everyone in heaven and earth and under the earth, which means even in hell, you can't get away from Christians. And to that I say, yeah, well played. That does sound horrible. That's it for this chapter. No clue what the scroll says, but apparently hundreds of millions of eyeball creatures are now bowing down and singing to us. And this is supposed to be good. Maybe. Anyone else out there wishing for the good old days when we just had to deal with the plague of locusts?